Hey guys, what is up? It is Bibsy7 here again, and welcome to another RuneScape 3 vlog here. This one's going to be talking about the month ahead for April that was released today. And yeah, just basically about it. During this video, I'm just going to be doing C1 dungeons for my dungeoneering rushes pretty much, and I'm also hoping I can get some golden rocks from this. I've started doing the golden rock and strange rocks whenever I feel like, just chilling and AFKing, because I'm pretty sure, the strange rocks take literally 30 or so weeks to complete, because you can only complete it once a week. So figured it would be good to get started on doing those, and yeah, that is why I am doing dungeoneering, because you get the golden rocks from here. And I need to do my rushes anyhow, because I do need to reset pretty soon. But anyways, I am going to be talking about the month ahead in this, and I'm also probably not going to be doing very fast dungeons here because I'm going to be pretty distracted. Let me just pull up the month ahead article here, and basically, I mean, the headline of this article is Solak is not coming out in April. It has been pushed back till May, which is pretty unfortunate. I was really hoping it was going to come out next month. Most people thought it was going to come out next month, I'm pretty sure, and it is really kind of disappointing that it's not coming out. And honestly, even more disappointing, in my opinion, is the fact that it is completely fully developed and is now going through QA testing now. So I don't really understand how they need so much time to QA test something. Like, it seems kind of crazy that they couldn't just release it at the end of the month here, but I don't know. It's kind of just disappointing, especially because if you go back to the 2018 year ahead, they said that Solak would be coming within February, March, or April. It's just a reoccurring theme with Jagex that they're really poor at planning ahead, and they really don't know how to stick to what they say. Like, they're always overly ambitious, it seems, with their plans, and it never pans out. And it's kind of disappointing, especially due to the fact that they don't even say anything about it. Like in that video where they were this month ahead, they just said, yeah, Solak's not coming till next month. Basically, that's all they said. They didn't say, I know we said it was going to come out in February, March, or April in the year ahead, but it's not, and these are the reasons why. They don't say that. They just basically ignore the fact. They pretend like they never even said that it was coming out in these 3 months, which I think is pretty annoying. Obviously, it would just be nicer for me to hear that they realize that they, and it would also be good to hear, like, yeah, we know we said this, and unfortunately it's not happening. We're trying to get better at that sort of planning thing, but clearly they're not trying to get better at it, because it just happens over and over where they say things are coming out and then they don't come out in that time frame that they say. Obviously, that's just a fact of game development. Things take longer than you expect often, but the fact that they don't acknowledge it just kind of annoys me. I don't know. Probably just, whining for no reason. But yeah, it is definitely official that Solak is not coming this month, and that's pretty much the big headline. In general, this month sounds quite underwhelming, especially after, them saying, Solak isn't coming. And, they basically didn't really have they don't really have a big update to replace him. So it's going to be a pretty bland month. Obviously, last month was really good. I really enjoyed the updates last month. Thought they were really good. It's unfortunate that they can't be like super consistent with two months in a row of good updates, but I guess it's kind of understandable considering the resources obviously it takes to do these big updates. But still, it is quite disappointing. And another thing that is also disappointing that was not mentioned in the month ahead was Group Ironman. Group Ironman was not mentioned at all in this month ahead, and that was also listed under February, March, and April. So there you go, another pretty obvious example of Jagex not following through on what they say is coming into the game. Group Ironman is I'm kind of worried now about Group Ironman, because I am super excited for it. I really can't wait to play it and make videos on my new Group Ironman account with my friend Alex. It's going to be really, really fun, and I'm just super excited for it. It's one of the things I'm most excited for this year. So I really can't wait for that to come out. And the problem is, I believe Mod Ramen, the guy who is working on Solak, is also developing Group Ironman mode. And, that's obviously a problem because Solak is no longer not coming out until May now. So does that mean Group Iron Man is going to be like further delayed until like June or something? I don't even know. It's kind of I don't know. I'm not. That's one of my main issues with this. Like Solak, I'm obviously quite excited for, but the fact that it also is tied in with Group Iron Man is kind of, pisses me off as well, because now that, in my eyes, this essentially means that Group Iron Man is also delayed, and they said it was coming out within the next 3 months of February, March, April. So I don't know. They really do need to get better at the saying things that are coming out when they're not. Like, I feel like they shouldn't have long spans of time, and they like tell you about the updates that are coming in that time frame, because I feel like they have never been 100% correct with that. I feel like the only time they should say updates are either they say updates that are coming out in the entire year, like they say, Solak is coming this year, or like they can maybe say within the first 6 months of the year. But they shouldn't, narrow it down to 3 months, because I don't think they've ever been accurate with their predictions for those types of things. And also, obviously, Group Iron Man is in that same boat. So, yeah, either way, I don't really know what else to say on that. I'm trying not to harp on it too much, but it is quite a bad thing to see that they're still doing such, big mistakes when they're saying stuff is coming out. One thing I also really want them to change is I want them to say what week each thing is going to be coming out in the month ahead, because, I don't know, that would just be nice to know, the order of things. But for some reason they don't do that. And they say it's because they don't want people to get excited, and then if something gets pushed back or switched, like, I'd rather just know and then have them say, yeah, this got switched out because of these reasons. I don't know. I wish they were just more transparent about things. Either way, enough about that. Let's talk about the actual updates that are coming this month, which, like I said, aren't the most exciting. And this first one is honestly insanely confusing to me. I really don't understand this at all. And it's the return of line firemaking. So any of you have played the game for a while, or played 07, or, watched old videos, or really know anything about the history of the firemaking skill. To train firemaking, you used to have to basically just like go to a bank. A lot of the times people did it at the Grand Exchange in Varrock, or one of the Varrock East or West Bank. And you basically would just, oh, fuck this boss. You would basically just get out an inventory of logs, have your tinderbox, and then burn fires in a line, in front of the bank or nearby to the bank, then run back to the bank and do it again. And it took a lot of clicking, because you had to click each log and then click the tinderbox individually. So I wasn't a big fan of that. I really hated training firemaking when that was the way to do it. And, some people, I guess, liked it, but obviously a lot of people were grateful when bonfires came out. It made firemaking training a lot less click intensive, but it kind of also made it very similar to cooking, but that's not really the discussion to be had here. Just the weird thing about it is, for some reason, they're bringing line firemaking back into the game, which doesn't really make much sense to me. They say they wanted to bring it back for reasons to, make the firemaking skill more active, and then you get better XP from that. So they're trying to say that this is going to be a high intensity but also high XP method for training firemaking, and I don't really like that reasoning behind it, because while that is true, if it is going to be high intensity, it should obviously be better XP. I don't really think it's a good idea for their high intensity so-called methods to be so monotonous and boring. Like, line firemaking is just about as boring as it gets when it comes to skilling methods, because you literally just click on your log, click on your tinderbox over and over, your inventory is empty, go to the bank, and repeat. Like, I don't really understand why they think that is what people want when they're talking about active skills. I feel like something that would be way better as an active skill is like skill training method. It's sort of like a mini game type deal almost, although not really. I don't know. I don't have any specific ideas myself. I just feel like it shouldn't just be clicking a ton, but also doing just a repetitive action still. I feel like it just doesn't really make much sense. Like I said, I don't have any better ideas, so it's kind of hard for me to criticize on this point, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, it's going to have something to do with the Firemaker's Curse quest as well. There is a weekly mini game thing you can do after that, with the CHARS book, and apparently they're going to be making that a repeatable training method. So that's going to be interesting to see how that works out. And it's going to have a new tradable item that is going to have to do with the fire making skill. So I don't know if that's going to really be worth much, but apparently it's going to be a way to make money while you're doing fire making. So we'll see how that works. Also coming this month is something they talked about at RuneFest, which is the safe cracking. I guess it's a mini game, or maybe it's just a regular training method. It's going to have to do with the Thieves Guild in Lumbridge, which is good because I think that guild is a bit underutilized, just in terms of what it offers for all levels of, skilling. I don't know, for thieving, like you don't really ever visit there after, maybe like 50 or so, whenever those doors stop being good for training. So it doesn't really make much sense for it to be the guild and not have better training methods. So there's going to be, the way they put it was kind of weird. It sounded like something that was going to be more of a mini game or a D&D type deal, but apparently it's just a simple new training method where you go to like the various castles or keeps in the world of RuneScape and loot their saves to fill your loot bag. And from the safes, you'll obviously get thieving XP, you'll get money, and you'll get, there's going to be some reward points for this, and you can buy them, buy rewards probably from a shop within the Thieves Guild. But it's kind of weird because they say it's going to be similar to Elder Trees for thieving, and Elder Trees are massively AFK, and they say in this article that this method is only going to be slightly AFK. I don't know how you would ever call Elder Trees slightly AFK, because you literally click on the tree and it cannot die for 5 minutes. So you literally just go AFK for 5 whole minutes, come back, move to another tree, and go AFK for another 5 minutes. So, I mean, I'm not mad about that being introduced as a training method. I'm just saying it is definitely not classified as slightly AFK. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it turns out. I'm kind of disappointed with that description for it, because I was hoping it would be like a cool mini game where you can maybe like sneak around Lumbridge Castle or Artie Castle and like, loot the king's, vault or something. I don't know. I thought that it sounded a lot cooler when they revealed it, but we'll have to see how it is. It could be a good way to make some money while you're AFKing, but the problem with this also is like Prif thieving is already AFK as hell, so I don't really understand how this is going to stack up in terms of XP or loot, so we'll have to see in the end on how that goes. And also, obviously, the reward shop might be a big influencer in wanting to do it or not, but yeah, that's another one of the updates. Next up, they have Rebuilding Edgeville. If you've done I believe it's the Ritual of the Majorat quest. Yes, it is. Edgeville literally looks like complete ass. All the I'm pretty sure the buildings are a little messed up, and then there's just black smoke on the floor in like 3 or 4 different places, and just looks really bad. So there's going to be I don't know. I guess it's not going to be a quest. It's just going to be like a D&D maybe, or like a little mini quest or a mini game type thing to rebuild Edgeville. Going to be talking to Mandarith, the guy who buys statuettes and stuff. So that sounds what the hell are these people unlocking all these titles? Yeah, that sounds kind of cool. It's probably going to be, it's not going to be the biggest update or anything, but you'll get a bit of XP for doing it, and also you will get a chance to unlock a floating effigy pet, which is kind of funny, like an ancient effigy. So yeah, that will be definitely a cool little thing to have, although it's not anything huge. But yeah, glad to see that they're finally getting to that, because it has been quite an eyesore for a while now if you ever completed that quest. Last on the list here is the tool belt improvements, as well as Combat Academy improvements and general ninja fixes. So yeah, in a month like this, it's really the ninja fixes that are going to be the MVPs in the update notes. You're really going to want to see some cool stuff from the ninja team. Hopefully they do come through in some nice new updates. They are, like they say here, going to be improving the tool belt, making it a bit easier to use and a better UI. The mock-up, or I guess it's the prototype design they show on the page, looks pretty nice. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I don't ever really open my tool belt for any reason, so I'm not too fussed about the interface, but it's good to see that they're changing it if you do want to use it. They're also going to allow you to have a mithril grapple on your tool belt, which, or a grappling hook, I guess, is what it's called. So maybe that's different. Maybe that's going to be like a new item so you won't need a crossbow, because if you can only have a mithril grapple and you still need a crossbow, it's kind of pointless. But yeah, I'm hoping that they definitely add that so you can just use those shortcuts without having to go get a stupid thing. Like, nobody ever uses those shortcuts, because who the hell carries around a mithril grappling crossbow? But yeah, that's good to see that they're improving the tool belt, I think. Then they also talk about here about the Combat Academy. They're going to bring it up to date with so that they teach Revolution in there, as it is by far the most popular combat style. So that's good, so people can maybe more easily learn the combat system and not have to be forced into doing full manual right off the bat, which may be a bit overwhelming. I don't know. I'm just glad to see that they are doing that, because honestly, the Combat Academy is a bit out of date as it is, even with the full manual system. So good to see they're going into Revolution. They're also going to be bringing a big ninja poll, like similar probably to the one they did in the past, talking about what the ninja updates are and how badly you want to see each one, so they can prioritize their list. That's going to be pretty good to see. I'll probably make a video on that. And then they talk more about the stupid spring fair, so who the hell cares about that? So yeah, like I said, not the most exciting month. Probably the update I'm looking forward to the most, I guess, is going to be the safe cracking, because all the other ones are not really that impactful at all. So we'll have to see how that goes. Let me know what you guys think about this month of updates in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, which will probably be either a clue or a Slayer video. See you guys then. Peace.